Phew. Hey, I'm just waiting for people to show up and start talking, because this is a stream that's just gonna be a heart to heart. I'm using this like it's a Discord call. It this is the best way to talk to as many people I know at once. At least I hope some people will show up. Hey, Mark. Come on and yell for this terrible platform, Mark. You can do it. Oh, he went down. It's like, don't you record me? Yeah, no one's here yet. Hey, Mark. I know why you're yelling so much. It's an hour and 15 until it's time for you to eat. You don't know that. You don't have a clock. You just know you're hungry. Oh, my class is just over there sitting in a box. Yeah, I'm gonna wait for people to properly start by and say hello before I get too rant mode. Because I want people to actually hear what I have to say. And it's just not one of those things where I just want to be talking to myself. Because I'm here to talk to people about this. Let's see, I know Kyle is asleep. Yeah, no one's here. If no one shows up in the next 20 minutes, then I will just end stream. It's not like I want to be here on Twitch. I shouldn't be surprised that I'm alone. I've given several years of my life to Twitch. Been streaming since 2017. Yeah. Let me turn that down. I'll just hear through the headphones. There's still no one here. Must be the time of day. Maybe it didn't get announced on my Discord. Who knows? Yeah, hey, Mark. Oh, you've decided to come back and be a meowy boy, haven't ya? Alright, well, let's get myself ready to do this stuff. Oh, Mark, me moving ever so slightly doesn't mean it's time for you to eat. What, does it need to, like... Yeah, 7 minutes and no one's here. Cute doggo. Reminds me of her peed. It takes a long time for that to load, doesn't it? Wait, if I gone robotic again? Don't tell me I've gone robotic again. I have! Wow. That didn't take long. I like just restarted that. Nine minutes and still no one. Yeah, I'll give it 10 more minutes. And if no one shows up, I'll just quit. But it won't let you do that. You have to scroll all the way down. Let's you leave people's personal data alone. Why do you need that? Sure, it's not like I have any choice with any company anymore. Edit voucher? What does this mean? Been a while since I played this game. I don't really remember how to play it. Very pretty and traditionally Japanese. That's for sure. She's really pretty, and I like her ears. Oh wow, okay. I was just about to end stream if nobody showed up. I thought nobody was gonna show up at this rate. It's been 10 minutes and... What's up? Feeling like a doomer right now. To use internet meme lingo. Is that what they call it when someone just feels really hopeless about the state of things? Isn't that what you know, internet culture is used to describe people who feel hopeless about the state of things? I've been crying off and on a little bit. A little bit of emotions leaking out here and there. Did y'all hear about that new... Oh, I say y'all. It's just you and me right now, Izanagi. Did you hear about that, recent Twitch announcement? Apparently, lolitubers like me are going to be targeted from now on to make sure that we don't do anything lewd because our body types are too petite. When does anything bad not last anymore? Seems like it's only the good things that fade from existence. It's only the good that disappears. The only change is bad change anymore. Seems like nothing ever gets any better. And got me on an emotional and unprofessional time. And I'm sorry you have to see me like this, because I respect you a lot. Feeling a little under the weather about Twitch, you know, making a bunch of rules and cracking down on VTubers and stuff. Maybe I shouldn't talk about this when you're around. I'm sorry to say. Tomorrow I've got I'm playing this again, Ents, because tomorrow I've got a collab. Tomorrow I've got a collab with Ori X Art. another VTuber where we're gonna play this game together, so I'm just kind of trying to, like, shake off a little bit of that rust today. Was the hope. Since I'm playing that with her, there's gonna be a collab tomorrow. I just need to figure out how to do that. But the real reason I'm streaming today is just because, like, I'm so ticked off at Twitch right now. Just... I'm, like, covered from head to toe in clothes. I don't expose my hips. I don't expose underboob. I don't expose my female-presenting nipples, whatever that stupid term means. You know, I've heard some disturbing news outside of just this that has me a little down as well. Like, apparently, according to Julia, it's not just Nintendo. It's multiple copyright holders, including the MPAA, and several Japanese companies, including Toei and Toho. Not like Toho Zun Toho. Zun is cool. Zun's a cool guy. Zun's a butt person in all this we're supporting. But like the corporation Toho. Like Toho Corporation. Not Zun, the indie developer, but Toho. They've apparently sent thugs after people illegally sharing, like, copyrighted material. Like, for instance, you know, let's go with an example outside of just anime, like Super Sentai shows. Like Super Sentai shows. Oh yeah, my rust for this game runs like I've never gotten good at Monster Hunter. But I don't even know what the buttons do anymore, it's been so long. Anyway, what was I saying? Apparently multiple companies have sent thugs after people in Brazil sharing their information. Apparently Brazil is someplace you can just petition the government and be like, hey, can you send thugs after this person who's violating our copyright? And Brazilian government's just like, yeah, sure, we'll give them an offer they can't refuse. Is apparently the MPA is apparently cracking down on illegal sharing, specifically using bullying tactics against people in Latin America and the global south. Like, people who literally can't afford to be buying these access to these shows and movies. People who are already struggling financially with a low value to their currency. You know, how much can people, you know, in these countries even afford to buy these games and watch these movies? And they're targeting them. Like Nintendo targeted. They just get nice, thank you. Thank you, Jake Core. So, as Julia shared that with me right before I went to bed, that these companies are bullying people, and then I wake up and I find out that Twitch is, like, bullying VTubers, particularly VTubers like me, saying that we're basically children. And I hate it. Like, I don't feel welcome here. I don't feel welcome on Twitch. I don't feel welcome here. I like the one that lets you use a katana. It's like a big Odachi style weapon. I'm just kind of talking over her beautiful singing at this point. I don't feel welcome here. I feel like Twitch is becoming actively hostile towards people like me. Longsword, yeah, I think that's what it's called. Yeah, then longsword. I'm a longsword user. Like, I'm afraid to even make lewd content, as in, like, I'm worried that I'll get banned because I'm in the mature content. Because I sometimes talk about sexual topics. I sometimes talk about sexual topics. Like, look at me. I'm covered up. Am I exposing a lot of skin? No. No, I'm not. I am wearing flowy Japanese clothes. But I'm worried that, you know, someone will decide to potentially report, like, if someone decided to potentially report me and be like, oh, this person's a child talking about inappropriate topics like sexuality, you know, talking about bisexuality, talking about, you know, double standards in, you know, men and women's breasts, talking about different things like that. Making inappropriate sexualized conversation. Look, she's in the mature sexual content category while being a child. Ban her. And then it'll just be gone. They'll be like, well, you should have read the rules. I don't, well, yeah, see? Look at me. I'm sexualizing my body. Someone should just ban me, right? Look at that. That's too close to the hips. That's too close to the hips, right? Maybe I'm just being the sort of, what's the people call it, Twitch thought that everyone complains about. The reason I start... Maybe that's too much skin. Maybe I should take that down. It's just some 3D pig disgusting fill. Twitch will probably never get me in trouble for that because it's not a VTuber. If it was VTuber thighs, they'd probably ban it. I really... You know what the problem is with all of this? You know what the problem with all of this is? Like 12 different companies. 12 different companies. 12 different mega corporations. Or super rich people. Like, you know, your Elon Musks and other super rich people. Like, all control the internet. Your Jeff Bezos, your Elon Musk, your, Mark Zuckerbergs. There is no checks and balances on anything. And it's just the credit card companies and the mega corporations control what you're allowed to see and what you're allowed to make. And what you know, Jeff Bezos' streaming platform is saying today is, you know, you better cover up them hips. I read through it. Oh, thanks, gaming isn't huggy. Maybe not, and what if I get banned, Kyle? I've already had one ban a few years ago. This isn't gonna be a super long stream because, honestly, I'm really ticked. Julia's even thinking of just having a media hiatus and just going analog. She's telling me, I just want to go analog. You know, to heck with the internet, to heck with social media, to heck with your Crunchyrolls and your Twitch. The only thing she says she's hardly gonna stay on is Discord. To keep up with friends, and Discord sucks too. I'm not sure how to, like, handle this. Okay, so one problem already is that I have... I'll just try to get used to this. So there's my game save. I'm gonna go ahead and try to, if it lets me. Let me make sure that I can, is that gonna fix it? Oh wow. Weird. You're trying to master hammer or hunting horn. So basically, the weapon I'm using isn't great for solo play. Oh, it's still not doing that. Sorry. Trying to switch the, confirm button back to my preferred method. But yeah, today is not a day I want to stream all day. I also need to, like, do some... some chores, but if I didn't have obligations, like, if I didn't have some obligations, like my D&D on Fridays and Sundays, the Dungeons and Dragons. Your dog, aw. Thanks, Floof. I'm glad y'all are concerned about me. And, you know, the collabs with Ori and Naruko. I'd be considering just taking a hiatus from streaming till I can get my head clear of all this absolute junk. It's still not cracked. Maybe I can change the controller settings? It seems to be, like, backwards. Look at that, it's a reference to Rush. And there's Okami there, nice. I love the reference to Okami. To Amaterasu. To her voice, Oboro. And there's a bunch of DLC for this game I can't afford. Properties, controller. It should... What are you doing, Mark? Mark, please. Mark, I want me to do something. Yes, I am doing... I don't know why it's... Apply layout. Okay. Edit layout. I don't know why it switched to a mark, please. New button. Let's just switch these and hope that it worked. Now, how do I save it? So is this gonna allow me? Okay, that works. Hey, it's another cat. Buddy, handler, Iwari. But yeah, I have a collab tomorrow with Ori XR. I wish I could afford all the DLC for this game. The courier's add-on content menu. That's a lot of stuff. Did I buy some of the DLC? Did I get like a pass? I am confused. Yeah. But yeah, I'm using a longsword. Ooh, I didn't remember how like slow this was. Man, sorry it took so long to get into the game. I'm noticing some screen tearing, unfortunately. So that's the first part. I love how traditionally Japanese this is. Big fan of how traditionally Japanese this is. Like the roofs too. I don't have those little circular things at the end. I forget what they're called though. Kinda just feels like a tile roofing without like the circular thingies. Yeah, do you see that like towards the bottom? There's like a place that, at least to me, I can see screen tearing. I don't know if it appears for y'all. Yeah, here's my character I haven't played in a very long time. I like, you know, traditional Japanese settings. Okay. I'm sorry you're so tired. I hate it when you have obligations when you're exhausted. It really sucks. Big fan of that sort of thing. So I'm going to go quit the game for now and fix the screen tearing issue because, well, for other people, they're not particularly sensitive to it. I am. Sword, make sure you've filled the bar until you get an attack buff. I see. So do I have a lot of these DLCs, or where did all the DLCs I have come from? What is this? I'm not bothering with it right now. So let's make sure. But yeah, since I'm gonna be playing with Ori as a collab thing, I'm gonna probably start playing more of this in the future. I just liked the idea of having a katana, but If it's better to like play with a different thing, then I can do that. I can easily do that. I just I just thought it would be cool to use a longsword. If others are a better option, then I can do that too. Um, well, it's not showing up from the list. Alright, it's a nice simple EXE. So I can just copy that. And then force vertical sync. Lolituber. Yeah? Wouldn't you say I'm a lolituber? I'm pretty petite and small and I don't have big booba. Use what you want. Yeah, but it would be nice to be able to solo this game too. And yes, I am aware that they don't want looted characters, especially lolly-tubers like me. But just the fact that that's there makes me pretty uncomfortable. The rule, not the loot enemy. I don't know what I mean. Is Moe different? Moe overlaps with, but is not the same as Lolly. I would say that Lolly is like a part of Moe culture. I would argue that there is something that's fundamentally budding about like lolly characters, and moe is more like the word budding than moeru to burn. There's been a lot of debate on exactly what moe means in this context. It can mean budding, it can mean to burn. The typical kanji used for moe in this context is budding. Moe is a lot of things that tends to mean like people's affection for a character, but it also has specific cultural contexts in which those characters tend to be shoujo adjacent. Shoujo adjacent. I will explain it in this way. I would say that if you have seen Haruhi Suzumiya, Mikuru Asahina more so fits into the moe archetype due to her cutesy and nature that makes people want to protect her. She is moe is almost like a specific kind of kawaii that is adjacent to shoujo gay or shoujo culture. And that in a way in which I feel like Mikura Asahina from Haruhi Suzumiya really embodies most of the aspects very, very strongly of the moe concept, is it is generally used on the field. Like, people talk a lot about, like, what moe means conceptually, you know, is, like, a big, strong warrior who you feel bad for because he lost a finger, you know, to the Yakuza, you know, for losing a gambling match or something like that. Is that moe? Maybe. But, you know, like, on the ground, as it typically means in the common parlance, moe means a lot of archetypes that got their formation largely in the bishoujo game or bishoujo gay genre, such as dating sims and visual novels, and are also exemplified in a lot of anime, again, such as Haruhi Suzumiya. And the moe is typically a specific kind of cuteness that tends to apply to bishoujo characters. Like, you could theorize that moe could be, like, anyone. Like, the whole kaiji is moe meme. Like, I've ever heard people being like, kaiji is moe. But, like, conceptually, and what people tend to mean is different. And moe does often, symbolize people wanting to protect something about a character, yeah. Lolly is more of a thing that encapsulates certain aspects of youth, whether that person is young. Lolly is a word, and words evolve. Lolly is a wasei eigo. Lolly is a wasei eigo that started off probably because of the book Lolita. Probably. But took on a life of its own in the same way that Viking means buffet in Japan. Like, the word Viking literally means a buffet in Japan. So origins, well, it's clear, what Lolita means in, like, the book context. It is a wasei eigo that has come to essentially embody something that is more about, physical features, more so than the general, like, trappings of the way the character is written. I would say that moe is 2 parts cutesy and also, like, features of the character's behavior, and not just, like, the moe anthropomorphization is a thing. So it's definitely characters, but it's also like a general amorphous blob of features that are considered desirable in bishoujo characters in otaku culture. Hi, and if you're leaving now, bye, Kyle. If you're leaving. Lolly, in the common, like, current contemporary thing, fits largely under the moe umbrella of moe anthropomorphization, moe characters, moe types. Which generally lollies and shotas are understood to not just be young characters, but characters that embody certain aspects of youth that are considered desirable aesthetically, such as it's become international too, but it's something that is specifically a wasei eigo. It means things such as being short, having big eyes, which are specifically a moe feature as well, having, since I mentioned petite, in this case, petite means narrow shoulders and short. Little, basically. Like me, little robot fairy. So, like, moving aside from shota a little bit, but there's a huge overlap, is that, lolly specifically, there are some people who believe that lolliopai is like a thing, and certainly that's its own genre, but a lot of people don't consider that to be true lolly. But a lot of what it's about is just being very, very short I think that that's almost universal. And one of the important features that tends to go along with that, with both lolly and shota characters, probably in my opinion, the most important, but I'm very extremely biased since I don't care for secondary sex characteristics, is the lack of secondary sex characteristics in lolly and shota characters. That means, it's like, what does that word mean? What are you talking about, Lynn? What does that even mean? So in female or like female presenting characters, such as like Lily Hoshikawa, hey, a short stack. Yeah, Oppai lollies are basically short stacks. Oppai lollies, which is in my opinion a contradiction of terms, are basically short stacks. Whereas I think that a more quote-unquote true lolly is pretty adjacent to, you know, just not having breast development, just being flat-chested, not having wide hips, not having an hourglass figure. Now, obviously, those things don't apply to shota characters, since those are features of female puberty. But generally, one of the neotenous features that some people consider to be a premium, otherwise you wouldn't have terms like petanco or delicious flat chest or other words for that, is the combination of not having male secondary sex characteristics to an extreme degree, which lollies are both feminine and not feminine, because they're like, they don't have female secondary sex characteristics, typically, but they don't have male secondary sex characteristics either, typically. There's margin of error. There's ones who draw slightly curvy lollies, but the further you deviate from the rule, the less lolly it becomes. So, like, you could make a lolly and make her slightly taller, and she'd still be a lolly. You could make, like, a lolly be, like, you know, 5'3" or so, potentially. But if you make her body proportions, in particular in relation to a lack of curves, or female secondary sex characteristics, she's going to look more lolly. Especially if one of those things is she's flat-chested, narrow-hipped, and has tiny shoulders. Because one of the things that makes lollies extremely feminine, despite lacking female secondary sex characteristics, is very tiny shoulders. A very petite bone structure. You know, not having thick bones. Not having broader shoulders. Having a very petite body frame, which means rib cage, which means clavicle, which means shoulders. And so basically, an important aspect is being petite without being curvy for feminine characters. And for male characters, it's inverted, you know, you're not giving them, like, man boobs, which is pretty rare anyway, unless the character is quite fat, was quite large, you know, is chunky, is thick. Or you're making someone who's, like, androgynous, who is, like, you know, maybe trans presenting, is maybe, like, a new half, or maybe is a futanari type adjacent character, and yet they don't call them a woman. Like, anime have a few of those things occasionally, and oftentimes they're just, like, obviously supposed to be, like, women, but women, or just women, or women, but not women, but whatever. You know, it's, like, gets confusing with gender bending in anime. Like Krim from... Except Krim is flat-chested, but there are characters like Krim from Ishizoku reviewers who are busty, unlike him. So, like, this character I'm playing doesn't look all that lolly, because that's not much of an option here. Partially just because of how tall she is. But if you look closer, she has a pelvis that looks like it has been widened by estrogen. And it's hard to tell bust size here, because she's wearing these sort of thick clothing. But it has a silhouette that seems to almost imply that that's likely. The face isn't that far off. You could easily make such a face on a more lolly-esque character. By ostriches, yeah. What's estrogen? Widened by ostriches. So yeah, to come back to the Haruhi Suzumiya part, example. The Haruhi Suzumiya example. Mikuru Asahina is like the moe-esque character among the main cast. She's a character that makes people want to protect her. She's very, like, cutesy and adorable, and she fits all of the archetype. The more lolly character in her age group, which is like high school, would be Yuki Nagato. Because Yuki Nagato, while she has the same moe eyes, she also is more lacking in secondary sex characteristics. She is short. She is flat-chested. But she's also comparatively mature mentally. Like, she's not very weak. She's strong silent type. She's a genius programmer. She's extremely, extremely intelligent. But her body, like on an aesthetic level, is less curvaceous. Like, she looks like she's got wider hips than a lot of lolly characters. But, like, she still has less secondary sex characteristics than Mikuru Asahina. Yoshi! Green ha! Yoshi! Hestia seems like more of a short stock to me. I don't consider Hestia lolly, honestly. I've never really considered Hestia lolly. Way too curvaceous for me, personally. I feel like short stock is a more accurate. She does not feel like a true lolly. I mean, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna end stream for now. I need a break from this. I need to go do some chores. Thanks for all listening to me rant about moe and lollies and whatever this different stuff is. 10 squats. Okay, I'll do that afterwards or when I return. I'm sorry, I'll see you all later. For Alligator, thanks for following. Alright, I'll see y'all soon. I need a break. I'm gonna go use the bathroom, do a few chores, give Julia a hug. See you. Thanks.